Greetings. Tis time to discuss a game today. The first game is done. Boston and the New York Rangers. I will agree with Ranger fans in the final minute who serenaded Boston sucks towards the Bruins. This is not a great thing right now for Boston. They've lost 3 out of 4. The good news, if you're a Rangers fan, they now have the best points percentage in the NHL. So everything's coming up for the Rangers. Let's go through it. It's Ullmark versus Quick. Laviolette passes Dick Irvin for 10th on the all-time list of games coached at the National Hockey League level. Yes, for anybody who's old enough to know who Dick Irvin is, the seasons were much shorter when he was coach. So, that is something to consider. But at any rate, Laviolette, congratulations on reaching the top 10. So VC steals, fires one wide. Lafreniere is denied. This is how the game started. The Bruins clear. Panarin has a chance to deflect out. The shots are 3-0 for New York at 3.5 minutes. And I thought, I saw this yesterday against Detroit. So the Rangers' forechecks causing turnovers, which has been Boston's problem in the last 4 games they've played. Turnovers are causing them a lot of trouble. Wheeler to Mika, near miss there. Frederick and JVR couldn't hit an open net with Quick down. Rangers clear. They press it 5.5 minutes. And then on a turnover, the Bruins can't clear it. They get it to Bonino. He's on the other team. And he scores at 5:58 from the slot. So don't do that. So this is 12 of the last 13 where the Rangers have scored first. It is 4 straight games that the Bruins have allowed the first goal. And what happens then is Boston's chasing the game and they're having to open it up a little bit, which really is not Boston's game. And that's a problem. So there's a brief press by the Bruins. They can't get to the net. Lafreniere has a turnover chance that's held. Poitras collides with McAvoy. Poitras got the worst of that. Poitras has not been the same either over the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 games. And again, for rookies, it is difficult at the NHL level. There's a post for Pastrnak. The shots are 5-0 Rangers at the half. Power play for New York, and they score on it. It's Kreider from Gustafsson to Trocheck at 11:56, burying a loose puck. The Bruins call a timeout. Had no shots on net to this point. So they're down 2-0 and don't have a shot. Kreider fires one wide after we get back to the action. Ullmark holds from there. 7:25 left. The Bruins get their first shot. Pastrnak then has one that's held. And then at 13:50, Coyle, during a good press by Boston, buries it into the open net. Frederick and Van Riemsdyk with the assists. And then Boston would tie it at 14-14. It's Geekie from Lauko and Forbert from the slot on a good cycle. The Rangers call a timeout. Both coaches call a timeout in the first 14-14 of the first period. I don't know if I've seen that before. Rangers look to respond. Poitras steals. The Rangers take it back. Pitlick's denied on a net drive. The Rangers, a post away from getting the lead back. Geekie has a rush chance that's held. Heinen's robbed from the slot. Quick holds on there. 1:34 left. The Bruins get a power play and immediately give up a shorthanded goal. It takes about 14 seconds, 16 I guess by the clock here. Kreider from Trouba. So shorthanded breakaway. You can't give that to Kreider. That makes it 3-2 for the Rangers. The Bruins couldn't get set up until the very closing seconds of the period, and they just run out the clock. So the score is 3-2 Rangers after 1. This is not what you want to see if you're a Bruins fan. It's exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of any other team in the NHL. Second period, Boston would get it back. So it's a 5-hole goal by Pastrnak from Zacha at 26 seconds. Then there's a near miss for Trocheck as the Rangers look to respond. Kakko gets denied. They cycle. Quick holds on a Bruins press. Coyle was right there on the doorstep then. There's a net feed to VC. Near miss there. Really, both teams with really poor defensive efforts. The Rangers' defensive effort was a little better than Boston's, especially as the game went along. But yeah, at this point, neither team is doing a very good job of defending against rushes, zone entries, blocking guys out. Just it was a free for all at this point. DeBrusque can't bury one. Heinen goes to the box for goalie interference during that, so that's an offensive zone penalty. You don't want to see that. There's a shorthanded rush by Coyle shortly thereafter, though, that causes the Rangers to take a penalty, so it's 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 43 seconds. Coyle fires one wide on a rush. Everything gets killed off there. The shots are 9-3 for the Bruins at 8.5 minutes. Too many Rangers on the ice. The Bruins with a power play. This is where the momentum could really shift to Boston. It doesn't. So not only is there's an early clear and there's another. Zacha has a shot that's blocked. The Bruins cycle. Pasta has a shot that's tipped wide. It's cleared out. So they kill it off. No shots on net for Boston during that power play. So what does that do to your momentum? It gives it to the defending team. So Panarin's stick dies on a one-timer. The Bruins have pressed with 7.5 minutes left. Bruins overpass on a 3-on-2, and when a team's struggling, that can happen. 2 things to watch for. is guys passing when they can shoot. And then there's the players too that will decide, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to the net 1-on-5. I can do this. Those are signs of a team that's struggling. I didn't see that today, but I did see the overpassing, especially on that rush. Rangers press with 6 minutes left. The Rangers press draws them a power play, but they don't score on that power play. They score during the delayed call. It's VC from Trocheck and Panarin at 16:37, but since it was a 4-minute penalty to Mitchell, he goes to the box anyways. So there's a shorthanded rush by Zacha. That's defended. Wheeler fires one wide on a net drive. The Bruins do kill that off, so at least their penalty kill was 2 for 3 today. I guess if you want to find a positive, although it was 1 for 3 on the power play for the Rangers, which still knocks that Bruins percentage on the penalty kill down a bit. So there's a commercial with 53 seconds left. I only put that on the board because it's one of the silliest things with broadcast now, is with less than a minute left, they go to a commercial. Well, coming back from the commercial, it must have worked for the Rangers. Keandre Miller scores on a rush. Zibanejad and Kreider with the assists at 19:36. And again, it's just way too easy to get that entry into the Bruins zone today. You're giving the Bruins time to enter the zone and to set up and or score on the rush. You just can't do that. So after 2 periods of play, the score is 5-3 rather than that 3-3 tie they had early in the period. They just fritter it away. So third period, early jump for the Rangers. Panarin's denied as the Bruins defense continues to just unravel. Pitlick would score from VC and Goudreau at 1:26. It was a defensive zone face-off the Bruins lose, so an offensive zone win for the Rangers, and they make them pay. That's Pitlick's first of the season. That makes it 6-3. At 2:29, Coyle would answer from Van Riemsdyk and Geekie. It was a tic-tac-toe play after good forecheck by Geekie. And Jack Edwards said, this game isn't over. And I snickered and said, oh, it's over. I had no doubt that the Rangers weren't going to allow the Bruins to come back from 6-3 down and win this one in New York. That just wasn't going to happen. So VC fires one wide on a breakaway as the Bruins defense continues to be rather porous. And Panarin would score on a one-timer during a good cycle from Schneider and Zach Jones at 4:38 to make the score 7-4. So the Bruins press. McAvoy fires one wide there. The shots at 9.5 minutes are 10-5 in favor of the New York Rangers. They really took over in that third period. Kreider's denied on a breakaway. Trocheck fires one wide. He was in all alone as well. Again, way too many 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, breakaways, 4-on-3s. You name it, if it's an odd man rush, Boston was guilty of allowing it today. Pitlick has a net drive that's defended, and this is where I write on the board, can Boston bring Chara back? It feels like what Boston lacks on that blue line is just that defensive stalwart and the one that they're going to really rally behind. And I mean, McAvoy has that potential, but I didn't really see that with him today, nor have I seen it over about the last week here. Goudreau then has a chance that's held as the clock's ticking down, working against Boston at this point. Gustafsson nearly makes it 8-4. Another thing that was fun was every time Jack Edwards tried to say the name, and he said Gustafsson. There's no extra F in there, Jack. Anyways, Panarin to Lafreniere, there's a near miss. Pastrnak crashes into the post, which didn't give. He looked like he was okay as he went to the bench, but I thought, that kind of is a microcosm of how today went for Boston, crashing into the net, and the net wins the battle. At any rate, your final score is 7-4. The Rangers go to 15-3-1 with the win. Boston back-to-back losses in regulation. They're 14-3-3. The good news is their schedule between now and the end of the month is winnable. They have a couple of games against Columbus. They have a game against San Jose. They do have a game against Toronto next Saturday. That might be the toughest challenge over the next week and a half, 2 weeks for the Boston Bruins. So, shots on net favor the Rangers 11-10 in the first. Both teams had 12 shots in the second. 17-9 Rangers in the third. Final shots 40-31 for the New York Rangers. The power plays 1 for 3 for Boston, 1 for 3 for the Rangers. The hits 19-12 for the Rangers. Ullmark saved 33 out of 40. I just didn't update it. I wrote it straight from the app. Quick 27 saves on 31 shots. The Rangers had a shot in the last 10 seconds, just hadn't been recorded at the time I wrote that down. So at any rate, Rangers with a big win in Boston. There has to be a lot of concern in Boston right now. Their defense has to be really good. They have to keep games low scoring, low event, or they're in trouble. And over 3 of their last 4 games, they've been in trouble. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.